Hey, welcome to the tutorial series how to develop an e-commerce website from scratch, and this is third tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to learn about the registration part of our website, how you are going to make a user registered in your website. So let's begin. We had just created a new template in our directory. You just need to create a one PHP file, that is userlogin.php. You can name it any name. I named it userlogin.php, and now I just saved this file in our home directory, which is e-commerce. We just saved it, and now let's see what is there. I just loaded this file by localhost e-commerce and userlogin.php. So what I got nothing, as our total file is empty. So first of all we need to include our header and footer.php file. So I am going to include our header file and our footer file. By this way I had included the header and the footer file. So we had just included the header and footer. Now you have to look what is there. So here we got our header and footer for our this page, user registration page. So now see what's around, and now you have to draw your all of your code between this header and footer. So we have to check for a box. So what we have done, we have just opened the home page of our template, and now you just need to right click and inspect element, and there you will find this class, this main content wrapper clearfix. This class classes are used to stylize the HTML. You can say classes are CSS and they need to stylize the HTML. So you need to just copy this class from here and create a div. So what we did is we had just created a div there with this class. We had just created a div there, and as you open the div you need to close the div by this way, and you can select this whole code and you can give a tab, so it may look better. Now we got this, and now you have to create our form with some CSS. So I already created this code. I will explain this code to you, but no need to waste the time. I'm gonna explain, no need to going to rewrite it. I just already created this code, and look what we got. So here we got this form already. So how I build this form. So I am going to give you a basic overview of how to create a forms and how to stylize the things. So we had taken this div from there. Why? We had taken this div, so this content you are seeing this gray box, this and this. So this content should be in the width of header. That's why we had picked CSS from here. Like you are seeing the area which is highlighted with blue, it is just parallel to the header part, this area, this thing, and the yellow spaces we had just padding, we had allotted the padding to it. That's why we had picked this class. Look into here, what is there? Yes, this is our class. That's why the same thing which we are getting here, the same thing we achieved here by inserting all the content into this class. So now we are going to check it out. Yes, how we created other things. Now you need to open the style sheet. You need to open the main style.css of your file. So I just went to CSS folder, and there I find the main style sheet. I just opened it, and here is our main style sheet. At the bottom I just write, this is a way to write comment in CSS, this / and custom CSS, so that all the CSS I will include in here. So this is a way to write comment in CSS. And now I just had taken a div inside this div. This div is inside this div. You can check which div is which one, like this. So you can give a tab and you will come to know about. Okay, so I have taken a div class login main. Okay, let's check. this one is login main. So what I had written in their class, look from here. This is a way to attach styles to the classes. Dot represents class and hash represents IDs. So this is the way. Dot login main. This is a class. If first write CSS here for particular class like dot login main, and then pick by calling. Let me tell you how this part is done. There are two things, HTML and CSS. Okay, so HTML, you have to identify elements through ID and class, and here you have to write CSS like background, and here the color and font size, everything. This part is CSS, and this part here with IDs or classes or the style tag, style, you can attach the CSS to this HTML. So ID represented by this dot sign, and the ID is represented by this hash sign, and the class is represented by this dot sign. And for style you need to do like, I am giving you an example of ID. So suppose there is an input tag, input type is something and all, and ID is new, this way. So suppose we have a ID is equal to new. So if you want to attach some styles to this element, then how you are going to do this? You have to attach styles like this. This is for ID and this new, and here you have to write your all CSS code like background, font size, anything. This is a way how we do with the IDs, and with classes the all things same. Instead of ID you need to write class and new, and here as it is a class we are going to recognize it with a dot new, and all your CSS code here. So this is the way. And while in style we call inline CSS. This way we can attach input and any element you can put input style, and inside this you have to write the CSS styling like background and other things. So this is a way to attach styles. And what we have done here, you have to look around, hold on. What we have done here for styling, you have written this code login main. I just created a div here, login main, and I just written the styles for login in like dot login main, and here is all styles. So look around, I have done padding. So what padding is going to do? Padding is just for giving padding or some space from inner boundary. I am going to tell you about padding and margin, which is just like this. Suppose we are having a div. Div is just like a box. Div is span and some p tags. So you need to learn a basic HTML for this. I am just going to explain about padding and margin. So suppose this is a div, and inside div I had written anything like any, and this is also a div any. Here something else is, here is a more div. So if you are going to give a padding to this div like padding 10px, so if you write the padding, this means padding from left, from top, from bottom and everything. But if you want to alone give from left, then you have to write like padding left, and you have to write like padding top, padding bottom, and this way. So padding is from the inner boundary. If you are going to give padding through left, so this way it will be increased. So this way, if you suppose if it is padding 5 and if it is padding 10, then it is just like any, your any will move here. While in case of margin, same margin you can give like margin 10px, and margin is from outer boundary. This thing is from inner boundary, What will be the inner boundary for this any? This boundary. And what will be the outer boundary for this any? This boundary. This is margin left. In case this whole box will move, if you are giving margin left like it is 10, if you increase it from 20, then the box will move on the left, while in this case box will not move, while only the inner elements of the box will move on the left. So this is what we called padding. And background. By background we have given some color followed by hash. These are HTML codes. And border radius. Border radius are just like for, suppose if your element is like this, very straight corners. If you want to make this corner some curly, then like this, and then you need to give the border radius tag, border radius, this way. So this is for border radius. So let's look what we have got here. This is our class login main. And padding, you can see this, hold on, you are seeing this part, this blue part, highlighted blue. This is called your main content, and we have given a padding of 30. Here you can see padding 30. You have given this padding of 30. So from left you are seeing some greenish part. This is padding. From left, top, bottom and right you have a padding of 30 pixel px. And background, what if I remove this padding? From here you can remove, like this box is not looking well. And background, this is how we edit the background. You can move the background, you can change by clicking on this box any background you like. So this is a way to change the background. Border radius, if there is no border radius, then it will look at the corners at this place and check how border radius works. Okay, so this is the thing for border radius, how we created. And same thing, this is for class login main, and inside this we have taken class login main heading. No, I'm gonna check it. Login main heading. So let's look. Open this div, and inside you find login inner. We haven't written something good for this. Login main heading. This class we have font size. By this way you can control the font size and margin top, okay, and margin bottom and border bottom, okay. This is the way to write border, like size of the border 2px, 3px, 5px, and the style of the border like solid, ridged and all, and the color, same color following by the hash color of the border, and width for this element. And line height means vertical spacing, and margin left and padding left, and color of the font. If it is only color, then it is the color of the fonts. And below this we have written this thing. So this is a way to style the things. And below this what we have got, we have created a form. This is our form. There are lots of elements in form. HTML form is just HTML. Like you have to, first of all you have to write like form, then form action will, and then method. These are some very important part of form, method, and below that you need to close the form. So mainly I have to illustrate about the action part and method. These are very much important in case of form. There are two kinds of method get and post. This is how we transport the values through one file to another file in PHP. These are some there are some global variables in PHP like $_post, $_get, and then $_cookie and server. And we are only going to discuss about these two in starting, $_post and $_get. And inside the form we have elements like input type is equal to text, and then something like this, and some more elements, and below all we will surely have a input type is equal to submit. So when you click on, when you see the elements, it will create something like an input box and a button with submit. So when you click on this button submit, what will happen, what will going to happen there, all the values in the form will attach a name, surely attached like input type, and there will be surely a name like name is equal to email. So all the values, so when clicking submit, the code check for the action part, what will be the action of this file, and the method part, and method is used to transact the value. If method is get, the values will be transact from the URL, and this is not much secure. If it is post, the values will be invisibly transact on the file. So if the method is get, then you can pick these values from $_get. If it is post, then you can pick the values from $_post. And how you will pick the values? Suppose here is the element input type is equal to text and name is equal to first underscore name. So we will pick this value like $_post first underscore name. This will be this is how we will pick the values of this post. Whatever you have written in the name will be the post value here. The value should be here. This is how how the form works and how we do with form things. And now we are going to check it out. Like we have a form, name and ID are not so necessary if we are going to do this way, and same method is post. Leave about this thing. And action in action, it will go to user register.php with all your values in post, and if action is blank, then it means the same file. And here is our label is just for text, like this thing. This is your label for this input box. And here input, and then type is equal to text, and name of input will be email, and class will be register email. Here if you're going to see for register email, then you will find margin left and some more things, lots of classes if border is none. And important is used for that. It is very important, pick this class, pick this style. If there are two styles, then this style will be preferred. So this way. And at last we got a input type is equal to submit, and name is equal to continue, and ID is equal to continue. So this is the way. Now here we can see on submit return validate count. So this will be a JavaScript part for our validation to validate things. Suppose this field is empty and somebody clicked on the continue. So what will happen? If the place is empty, it will say, hold on, if the place is empty, it will say, it should say like incorrect email or something like that. So we have to write some validation here. So I had already created the validation part. This is our part. So how this thing works, I am going to tell you about some functions, and this is a way to call functions. Hold on. This is a way to call functions like function name and these brackets and this thing. Like there may be some function HQS cutter, or there may be some function like Facebook, anything. This is a way to call the functions. Like you have seen in here, return validate count. This is a way to call your function. Return is just like you need to go to this function, return it only for this purpose, while this is our name of function, valid count. This is how we are going to call the function, like return valid continue. This way. This way we had just called the function, only return is there. And now as you are calling a function should be already there. This is a way to create the functions. First of all, this is a script part, so you have to write all these things in script part. You have to close this thing, script. Then you need to create a function, and function name, the name as it is, this name without bracket, like valid this thing, and now you have to put bracket, but not this semicolon. This simply means it is the end of the line. Then you need to create the brackets, and inside the bracket the whole code for function. The function will not be executed without a call. If you call, then only function will be executed, and after function will execute from this brace to this brace, and after that the control will be again here. So this is what we have created now. Validate count. This is our function, same as I told, function and this brace and this brace, and inside script part. And now you have to check, there is a code in JavaScript like ID. Concentrate on your ID. ID is email here. So document means this whole page. Dot get element by ID means you have to find the element by ID, and in ID we had passed email. You have to learn, you have to remember this thing. Document dot get element by ID email dot value. If the value is null, we have put in this whole code in a if. If the value is null, then you have to alert email can't be black. And this thing, document dot get element by ID email dot focus means just focus on that thing, and return false, so the control will not be passed ahead. So this is the way how we do with the validation. So now reload the page and just click here, so it will say email can't be blank. This is the way how we do with this thing. Now in next tutorial we will learn to create connection with database, and we will learn to write the values in database. In this tutorial what we have learned about the basics of CSS, and we have learned to create some post and form and HTML layout. So thank you for watching this tutorial.